Tory duty on Ofwat protects profits over reducing sewage pollution, experts say. Going to read into this more from The Guardian, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from The Guardian with the headline of Tory duty on Ofwat protects profits over reducing sewage pollution, experts say. Campaigners fear the growth duty will hamper water regulators' ability to crack down on companies in poor financial state. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. Now, this is what our experts are claiming to say, that the Tories are deliberately and intentionally protecting the profits over reducing sewage pollution. Now, we don't know that for certain, but based on the last several years of how the Conservatives have responded when it comes to the amount of sewage being poured into our rivers and our seas, given the different amount of stories that I've already covered here on this channel when it comes to the fact that they are playing around with the numbers when it comes to the amount of sewage that they are leaking out into the rivers and the seas and whatnot as well. And given the amount of money that that Thames Water, for example, want to increase our bills by like 44% to help pay for their costs, which is insane. Something tells me that for too long that this is just does not surprise me. I've always had this premise that perhaps the Conservatives are deliberately and intentionally protecting the profits of these water companies. And that's kind of the impression that I've had from this. So I'm kind of in agreement with the experts here about this. And not enough's been cracked down on this. And my total premise, guys, and I've said this, I've said this before and I've said this again, the water companies need to be put back into national hands, the state hands. They need to be put back in the state hands. And we've talked about this before on numerous occasions here on the channel. If you haven't been aware, I've got plenty on this already, but I just think this headline just saying that the Tories don't care, it's just an emphasis of it. I mean, they're kind of just like sitting there waiting to be kicked out in government at the moment. And it's a really annoying and sad state of affairs that our environment is being damaged, and there's a lack of action being done about it. So the Conservatives have pushed through a duty on the water regulator to prioritise growth, which experts have said will incentivise water companies to value their bottom line over reducing sewage pollution. Campaigners fear this move will weaken Ofcom's ability to crack down on water companies as it forces the regulator to consider the company's financial situation and the impact on its growth if the firm is heavily fined for polluting. And this is like, for me, it's like, no, the priority should be to deal with the sewage. This should be the main priority right now, not their finances. They should be pushing more on this. Why does the profitability matter? They've not been paying attention with what's been happening lately. The Liberal Democrats forced a vote in Parliament on Wednesday on the government's new growth duty for Ofwat, which requires the regulator to have a regard for the desirability of promoting economic growth when cracking down on water companies. They lost as 50 MPs voted against the statutory instrument and 395 voted in favour. The growth duty specifically mentions fines of companies as a measure that could hamper their growth. It says certain enforcement actions and other activities of a regulator can be partially damaging to growth. These include, for example, an enforcement action that limits or prevents a business from operating financial sanctions and publicly on relations to compliance failure that harms public confidence. Last year, water companies were ordered to cut more than £100 million from customers' bills after repeatedly failures to stop sewage pollutions. Campaigners fear the growth duty could cause the regulator to be less stringent with penalties because it would have to consider the commercial impact of fines on a company. The financing of some water companies are already in precarious state. Thames Water is already currently at risk of a collapse. Richard Benwell, CEO of Wildlife and Countryside Link, said the growth duty once again the privileges business bottom line over nature. Public demand and environmental needs are totally clear. Ofwat should be promoting investment in nature and ensuring polluters pay. A new duty that obligates the regulator to think twice before taking environmental action and heading entirely in the wrong direction. Parliamentarians are right to oppose this backward step. The real economic responsibility action is to protect the natural assets we depend on. Political parties should commit instead to new green duty on regulators to ensure they take action to stop climate change and restore nature. Labour MPs voted with the government, and it is understood because they did not want to be accused of being anti-growth. Liberal Democrat Environment spokesperson Tim Farron said Conservative MPs had just voted to help water firms get off the hook. Ofwat will now be fighting water companies with one hand tied behind their back. This government is all talk and no action when it comes to the sewage crisis. Time and time again, Conservative MPs have voted against taking tough action on polluting firms. It is a scandalous vote by the government, which is woefully out of touch with this environmental crisis. The public will be furious to hear the industry's enforcers have been weakened even more. Conservative MPs should hang their heads in shame, and so should Labour as well. Government spokesperson said Ofwat continues to have very clear environmental responsibilities to ensure water companies comply with existing protections, and that the growth duty will not change that. The extension allows Ofwat to be more effectively delivering economic growth alongside its regular duties and do not wish in any way to restrict how regulators enforce this industry. So annoying. I just don't understand it. Like, they're more concerned about growth for these water companies. These companies are just, they don't care about our water. I cannot believe Labour voted with the government on this. It's so infuriating. It's so infuriating. These water companies are literally getting away with this. They are getting away with this. They are literally laughing at us while they pour that sewage into the rivers and seas when they don't need to pour as much, guys. They really don't. They are choosing to. They are making so much money off our backs. And I just feel like nothing's been done. I generally feel like we are completely helpless in this situation right now. Like, Labour will say, we have a plan. And we'll obviously have to wait when the manifestos come, what Labour's plan are going to be particular. But Liberal Democrats are very clear about this, that they need to, that politicians need to be tougher on the water companies, that's for sure. And Liberal Democrats are saying the right thing on this, and it will win them votes. It will win them votes at local and at the local and general election for sure. They are saying the right things here. But yeah, another plan, another policy brought up and again shot down. So there you go. But what do you guys think? What do you guys make of this bill that they put up and Labour voting along with it? Being worried about being anti-growth, Labour are. Conservatives are clearly more concerned about profits, ensuring that these water companies grow rather than dealing with the sewage. How does that make you feel? Does it surprise you? Let me know your thoughts and more in the comment section down below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. Greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. And subscribe, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p. Or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content there as well. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch you all very, very soon.